everybody. Welcome to the show. It is the front bar. Great to be here. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton draft with a couple of decent types on the panel again tonight. Great to have your company on a pretty special night for us tonight. AFLW season drawing to its home and away close. We've got two of the bright young stars of that competition. Hey?
It's a business end.
It is. And just to crown the second show of the year and get the thing flying, we've got one of the most enigmatic and one of the great St Kilda champions. Some of you have a recluse, one of the most...
Recluse. He's been in a witness protection scheme for the last 20 years, OK?
A man we never thought...
We found him.
A man we never thought would actually come on the show, but he did say yes.
Unbelievable.
We cannot wait to get him on.
It's a fair run-up. Have you forgotten his name?
I did for a minute. Carl Dittrich. I cannot wait. It's going to be magnificent.
Hey, you were just saying, I know we've got to go up a big show, but you were saying you're all nervous tonight.
Because when I was a kid and watching football, he was just a god, and he was a giant of a man, and I remember watching him play, and I remember that team who were extraordinary and tough as nails. So
they were. So
it's a big moment.
We're looking forward to having him on the show. It's going to be fantastic. Tell you what we're looking forward to, because Australia's done such a great job with COVID. 75% capacities we're up to across the board Australian venues this week, which is absolutely magnificent. Leading the world in this regard, we are.
I was so happy, regardless of the result, to go to the football last Thursday night, sit in the MCG, surrounded by people, and drink mid-strength beer out of a plastic cup. I'm tearing up. It was such an emotional moment. It just all came flooding back.
Isn't it just great? It's been a tough year, but finally, just some good news for the scalpers out there. You know, they had a tough year. They had a tough year last year, but it really was fantastic to have crowds back. And it was especially last week, especially fun for the kids. You could see them; they were just jumping out of their skin.
Yeah.
And particularly this young Collingwood fan struggling to keep a lid on it.
Go, Pies.
Go, Pies.
Come on.
In that kid's defence, he probably thinks that his kids are going to trade him due to salary cap problems. You can understand why he's a bit flat.
Well, we were excited, but you're right, the kids were excited. Now, have a look at this young GWS fan. It's a little hard to read, but I think he's happy to be there.
He's missed a year of that kid. He's happy to be back.
He should get back on the mid-strength cordials.
It picked up where it left off. Congratulations to your mob. They were too good last week. It was a pretty spirited effort by the Blue Baggers, but last Thursday night it kicked off with the Tigers doing what the Tigers do.
We were brave. I'd say we were brave.
I don't want to sound patronising or condescending, but that was a very good Carlton.
No, you can't do it. You can't not be condescending, can you? Well done. By the way, I was just watching it at home,
well, we couldn't get Carlton supporters couldn't get in.
Absolutely not. But the luminaries that were at the game, I'll tell you what, they were absolutely, big hitters from politics, captains of the television industry, power players from footy administration, and then just the creepy uncle on the end. Have a look. Look at that. You look like you're not allowed to watch the Auskickers at half time. What's the plan?
I say this. I still reckon my hair looks better than Josh Frydenberg's. So that's what I'm by.
Hey, how was it?
By the way, this is it. That's the last time you see it. I've done my bit, right?
It was a magnificent thing you did last week, and well done for honouring your pledge. It was a really brave thing. What was the reaction to it like during the week?
I wouldn't know because I covered up. I had a different wig for every day. Here I am on Monday. That's the Stick Kernahan look. I like that. Here I am on Tuesday. That's the Brucey Dool. Wednesday, my favourite, the Wiedemann. Hello, girls. And, of course, Thursday was, well... the
Carl.
The big Carl, like his little brother. We should go out double dating. And, of course, finally, the Catoggio.
Have a personal favourite?
That looks
great. Have a personal...
I don't know.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Shave it?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm just going to...
I like it because finally your hairstyle has caught up to your personality.
Hey, you must have been excited about just from a personal perspective. Dusty was Dusty. The Tigers are off and running. You must have been excited.
It was great. It was great to kick off the year with a win. I took my boys who went and saw 2 flags unfurled. We beat Carlton. Beautiful. We were jumping out of our skins. And it was a great win that even our skipper, Trent Cotchin, who wasn't playing, enjoyed.
Hopefully the skip's sitting on his couch at the moment with his tissue box and smiling.
All right, OK, I like to celebrate after a big win too, but... Maybe keep a lid on it. Trent?
Oh, dearie me.
Harry, there were lots of positives, Russ, wasn't there?
What were the positives?
There were loads all over the place. Didn't have to scratch too deep to find them, mate. They were
We
everywhere.
were right in it to beat the
Defence were magnificent.
7
Sam
minutes
Walsh
to go.
was outstanding. Big Harry's going to be a factor. There's a lot to like about the
Yeah,
game.
and there were a lot of positives for the Blues, although I'm not sure many Carlton fans would have noticed the one big positive that coach David Teague took from the game.
There was a lot of positive signs that came out of the game. I think the one that jumped out at the coaching group was probably Richmond's ability to handle the moments.
Well, let's hope tomorrow night that David's one big takeaway, one big positive from the game is not a Collingwood one, by the way. I would like a Carlton
Need to
positive.
be taken in context, of course. Hey,
Thanks for your support.
I'm going to stick up for the
There's a
coach,
lot-
mate. Hey, I'm sticking up for the coach.
There's a lot of positives in that joke.
Hey, I don't know whether... you don't want to go off half-cocked and you don't want to go off a bit early.
No, you don't.
But
No,
I don't
keep
think,
a lid on it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we may have already seen the biggest upset of 2020. I don't think we're going to see a more unexpected win than
Did anyone see that coming?
No one saw this coming. No one. Young Adelaide team, off a couple of horrible seasons, shocking year last year.
Has a wooden spoon team ever beaten a grand finalist in the first round?
Yeah, 1971.
Thank you. I knew you'd have the answer to that question. But that was an unbelievable performance. I mean, the Adelaide, over in Adelaide, they're now talking, can we go 6-0 to start the season? They've got right ahead of
It was a good day for Adelaide fans and, of course, our own Fitzy. Good to see he's keeping a lid on it.
Yep.
G'day, boys. Yeah, well done to the Crows, hey. To be honest with you, we weren't really getting into the game as a family. May have been maybe just a little bit concerned that Geelong may come back at some stage.
Don't ride it! Don't let him do it! Don't
And I think as a Crows supporter, the number one thing that we are very good at is keeping a lid on it. Hello, mate. How you going? Yeah, I'll have 1,000 on the Crows to win the premiership.
Very good, Fitzy. No, and he should be happy. There's no doubt about it. The fallout from the game, of course, was enormous, wasn't it? With Patrick Dangerfield copping 3 weeks. So
It's not enough.
What?
Should be 8 weeks.
What are you talking about?
He's a
What?
thug.
I beg your pardon.
That stuff's got to be stamped out of the game.
One of the greatest players ever.
Mate, this is not easy to watch, but I just think they've let him off the hook. You have a look at the bump and tell me this is okay. Look at it. That's 7 minutes into the grand final. Bang! Double movement. And I mean...
I'm glad you're not holding a grudge, by the way. That's
Let it
good.
go.
That's
You won the
What?
flag. You got another medal, did Nick Vossen. So move
Should
on.
have looked at that.
The Jake Kelly incident was the one, of course, from the weekend. The bump, the head contact made, as a part of the bump, and the bump now becomes a big talking point again. 3 weeks he's got for that, of course. So he won't be playing until round 5 because some of the defence that Geelong mounted was pretty amazing. They turned to Siri at one stage in the tribunal hearing to help the defence of Patrick Dangerfield.
Why did they do that, by the way?
Well, I know they
What happened?
Well, they turned the Defence Counsel looked at his watch and he said, define. He said, define.
Hey, Siri.
He said, hey Siri, define. He said, I forgot the word. He said, stay with me. I've had issues with Siri.
No.
I'm
I
nervous
know you
around
have,
Siri.
but can I just say, I thought you'd be fresher because, of course, with the vaccine rollout this week, you're first in line, and I thought you'd be fresh.
We give you one
This
setup.
is
We
what
give
they
you
did.
one setup.
They said, hey Siri, define severe.
Of something bad or undesirable, very great, intense.
There you go. So
And
they
that's
used
what
that.
happened.
That's exactly right. They use that in the tribunal
Can we
hearing.
get Siri to define hardly worth the wait?
No, so they did that. They actually used Siri.
Can I have a go?
Yeah, you can. You go on. Come on.
No.
Come on.
Hey, Siri, who is Patrick Dangerfield?
Patrick Dangerfield is a dirty, rotten sniper who's been getting away with it for too long. Go Tigers.
And I haven't played with that at all.
The medical sub was the other big talking point out of the opening round of the footy. It's gone from concussion to medical sub. There were 8, I think, players who were subbed out because of injuries. I don't know whether he is. Jack Silvani became the first, of course. Oscar McDonald came on from him. The young fella, Charlie Lazaro at North, was named for his first game. He was eventually used as a medical sub, which was poor. He didn't get hardly any time to play. Mitch Hinge in Adelaide. Did you get a sense for it? Did you get a sense for it?
This is what I got to say. I got a sense, seriously, that there's a lot of pressure on the doctors now.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of injuries will be brought on by a very poor first half. You know what I mean? Like the first half, all of a sudden.
A lot of people actually share that view, Sam.
Yeah, well, I don't say anything original.
Yeah. They're dishing out the medical certificates pretty easy. I mean, next time I want to take a sickie, I'm going to one of those doctors. They're unbelievable.
But, you know, once again, the AFL have followed our lead. We're all ready to go. If clubs exploiting the medical sub rule, it's not something we would do, but we are prepared.
We are prepared in case one of us goes down.
Well, not just one of us, by the way. If the big dog goes down, we are ready. With our medical sub, Matt Preston, there he is, ready to go. Have a look at him. There you go.
There you go. Hey, given the way this segment's going, you could be required. I might be going down, and we'll get you off that quickly because it looks like you could have a heart attack.
You ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
Yep.
If Mick puts his foot in his mouth, can't get out, I'm ready.
Oh, well, that's good.
We know we won't keep this long. We know there's a cannon that you need to be fired out of. But, what are those pants? What are you wearing?
It's a marquee. Marquee pants.
And what about the Pies? We know you're a big Pies man. Can they win next week?
Yes.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, is it?
Well, I would like...
Siri,
yes.
When is Collingwood playing?
Hey, thanks for being available.
You're a good man.
I'm standing by.
That's it.
Hey,
All show. Don't let up.
The medical sub, Sam.
Yeah.
The old bygone era, the olden days. It was a different brand of footy played back in those days.
Absolutely. I wonder if what a surprise you've stopped peddling. I wonder back in 1973, I think, if Footscray would have used the medical sub when Barry Round went down with an ankle injury.
Puts it high up into the air, is drifted across the face of goal into the forward pocket. It round. A mark. And/or a free kick. Not much doubt about that. He's hurt himself, Jack. He appears to have come down in his ankle. Or is it...
Well, he's out.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Someone else will take the kick.
No, he's
in
over
trouble.
on the ankle.
Oof. Not good.
He's hurt.
It looks like he's going to have a go. No.
Well done. Dish it off.
Smart.
Makes a hand pass. Drops in saying it's got to go over the mark.
No.
Very round and a lot of bother down
It's
there.
not good.
He's twisted that ankle. McKenzie is giving...
Well done, he's up.
Sure.
He wouldn't take his kick. You wouldn't think that he'd take his kick.
He's a bit ginger.
What are you saying? He's milking it?
He's milking it. Now, watch this. Get out of his way, everyone. Stay right away. Get away.
He's not going to kick it.
Not with the bad ankle.
Going to try though. Courageous attempt by Barry Round. Lets it go.
He's goaled it, but gone down again. Mate, he would have been off.
Mate, that's when heroes were heroes back in those days. That's magnificent from Barry Round.
No sub.
Hey, medical sub would have been called in back in those days. You're a hero, Barry Round.
You are.
We're going to get to a break. We're here for Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. When we come back, the home and away season drawing to a close in the AFLW.
Here we go.
The brightest young stars, Tony Brown and Alice Berg, famous football families, to join us on the show. Absolutely, a Melbourne institution, the Corner Hotel.
It's the best live band venue in Melbourne, bar none.
Got a great rooftop garden, get up there. Enormous feedback last week to your heroic haircut.
Thank you very much.
So well done to you. Keep sending your feedback through to us on our social media platforms.
Yeah.
Have you ever got any commentary that you want Sam to have a look at? It's a good way of reaching out to him. Because
what do you got?
You're a student of this.
You know, I'm a student of the commentary, and this week we look at special comments. And I'd like to acknowledge Wayne Carey, the duck or the king, the duck king, because he sees things that others can't see. By the way, and this week he had his eyes on the Western Bulldogs' Tim English.
Have a look at English here, BT. He's put a bit of size on, hasn't he? He's looking really good.
Well, always been big in the legs, but upper body looks like he's put on a little bit of weight. They all look so fit. This time of year, BT, you've got no niggles, you've got a little bit of a tan.
Tan line. The tan line. The goalposts are darker than him, by the way. What is Wayne Carey looking at?
He might be colourblind.
Yeah,
you never know.
Well, that's what you want from your special commentary. You want good dose of colourblindness. That's great. Beck Goddard,
oh, superstar.
Premiership coach, who's made a seamless transition into the commentary box.
Yes.
She's wonderful there, her commentary. And when she paints a picture of the action, she really paints a picture.
Ashmore tackles her. Roos lock it in. Garner in the right spot, casually on the right. She's a gun.
Well, that was a picnic. That was an absolute picnic for Jazzy Garner. Just pick what you want. Take the grapes. A little bit of cheese with it. Maybe some quince paste. Just a really easy goal.
That's good picnic. That's a good
She's the best,
comparison, by the way. Speaking of picnics, by the way, if you wanted to have one, we could use your shirt tonight. That'd be good. But I wanted to say...
Who's doing special comments? Maggie Beer?
I pointed out quince paste.
That's good.
It looks great.
I don't need a review from you, thanks.
Quince paste. I just wanted to be... I know we've got guests.
Yeah, they're waiting, but go on.
Don't worry. Let's make sure they're still here, by the way.
No, they're there.
But the quince paste, I just want... It's a community service announcement. You know when you think of quince paste? The fruit quince.
Yeah.
What do you think it looks like?
It's a little yellow thing, isn't it?
Nick?
It's got a kind of quincy factor. Quince, like a quince. What do you want me to say? Like a little...
this is a service to everyone. Everyone, I'm sure, I think that I'm not alone in thinking people think that quinces are very little.
Tiny.
This is a quince. Look at that. That's a quince. I'm just saying, it's a forgotten fruit. It's a forgotten fruit, and people think that quinces are small, and they're actually big.
It looks like a night footy. It looks like it's... What is it? Is this...
Are you surprised at that?
I'm surprised how big it is.
Well, good, because I'm going to do it every week. Next week, dragon fruit. I'm going to take us through one every week. But
Are you sure that's not a squash? That looks like a squash to me.
It's not a squash, it's a quince. And by the way, just in case you're wondering quinces, don't eat them raw. They must be cooked.
OK, right. Hey, the AFLW season draws to its home and away close.
Give me that.
I've got a serving... Come with a serving suggestion.
This weekend, of course.
Come on a good night, girl.
Some pivotal games to be played. It's all to come.
Do you know what I thought?
What?
Because last year you brought a giant onion out. I just thought, as soon as you said, have you ever seen a quince? I thought a 40-foot quince was going to come out of the back. Oh, this is a running joke. So next week the quince will be bigger.
You think we've got the budget for a giant quince? We don't have that. You're talking about...
As I said, it's all to play for. Top of the the six to get inside who's going to make up the finals. It's all to play for on the final. And two of the bright young stars of the competition have been good enough to join us. And I've got famous football surnames. Please make them welcome. Alice Burke and Tony White at Brown, everybody. Girls, thanks for coming along.
First question. Was that a complete waste of time? Did you know how big quinces were?
I didn't even know that was a fruit.
I'll take that as a win. Thank you.
While you're on a roll, how much fun has it been to be involved in this league? You're not going to be where you want at the end of the home and away season. That'll come next year for you and your team. But how much fun has it been to be involved in this?
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. Like, the girls are so much fun, and then being able to, like, be part of the games, whether I'm playing or not, like, being there, it's so great to see.
Well, can I just say, what we love, because we're all so used to, over time, the father-son, but we're seeing for the very first time the father-daughter. Or mother-daughters, whatever you want to say, but it's exciting to see you guys on the big stage.
And, Tony, how exciting for you to be part of this Collingwood team that is one of the real teams to beat this year. You're going to go into the finals, you know, irrespective of what happens on the weekend, with real premiership aspirations. What's it been like to be part of this team?
Yeah, awesome. Well, for me, like, I just wanted to come in and make my first game, but to be able to hopefully play through the finals and get as far as we can has been great. So
that's awesome.
Back to you, Alice. So we had your father on, Nathan, on last year's show, I think, and did you forget? Correct me if I'm wrong. You played your first game. Your first game was against his Western Bulldogs that he was coaching. Is that right?
Yep, that's
How'd that go?
Oh, well, better for me than Dipper.
There it is.
It's a great scene.
So he coached against you. You won. quiet trip home in the car?
Thankfully, I'm able to drive myself now, so I can do that.
You took separate cars to and from the game.
He didn't tag you, did he?
No, I got way out of there before he could.
How active are the dads involved in you in terms of feedback and, you know, the information and coaching? Are they still really actively involved in your footy?
Yeah, Dad's always been a big part of like watching games back and giving me tips and everything, and that hasn't changed at all. Like when he's at home, he's my dad.
Yeah.
He's not a coach.
I've got to say, on Little One Eyed, I've been following the Richmond girls around. I featured Cody Jacks last week, who we're now Insta friends. And this week we follow each other.
What do you do? How do you do?
I don't know. It's like us playing a Game Boy or something. But this week, my attention has been grabbed by this grab from round 3, Gabby. And have a look. I think this may be her first mark. Yes! Gabby Seymour, have a look. Can we show it again? The sheer joy. Yes! That's what it's all about.
Great poker face that is.
What a poker face. Hard to read.
Let's go back to where it presumably all started for you two. I'm sure your mums are keen on the game, but your dads were superstars and champions for their respective teams. There's the Brown clan. It's a remarkable story with Gavin and you alongside him and the two boys all playing now, Tony. It's an incredible story, of course. And Alice, which one are you with the old man in his milestone game? Which one are you?
I'm the one he's holding.
Right.
Oh, wow.
How much of an influence and inspiration were they in terms of your own kind of footy journeys?
Yeah, Dad was a big influence on me, but originally I was a basketballer, so he never put too much pressure on my sport or anything. It was always just what I wanted to do or what I chose to do. So.
Tony, do you ever see? Ever seen your father, the great Gavin Brown, like a whole game? I've watched a whole game of his.
No.
What?
Well, if you...
He wasn't very hard at it. He was a bit... He never got his own.
I don't want to say the word scared, but... Do you know what I mean? It's What were you saying off there? Petrified. If you... No, of course, he's one of the immortals. He played in the 1990 grand final for Collingwood, and I watched that game. He had a pretty quiet in the second quarter, to be honest. Don't worry about that. And Alice, what about you? Have you ever watched a whole game of Nathan?
Unfortunately not.
What? Never watched the whole game that he played in?
I've seen highlights, but not a full game.
Good solid reserves player. I don't want to say list clogger, but, you know. I don't know why he wore a helmet. He never went in, by the way, but anyway, that's enough from me.
Well, it's great to have you two here, and on a special night for us to have you two here, it's pretty special to have the two old men in the crowd as well. Nathan Burke and Gavin Brown have been good enough to join us on the show. Great to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Brandy, to you first. Did you ever think you'd see the day when, you know, your girl could be playing in an elite level Aussie rules competition like this?
No, not really. It never dawned on me. It's incredible, isn't it, that it's been going 4 or 5 years now, and the height it's got to. But no, Tony, as she said, she's always played basketball, and would never ever have thought that she would ever play on the Collingwood jumper and play in the AFLW. That's for sure.
Well, she's going okay. For you, Berkey, was Alice always cut out to? We got some vision of her as a toddler. Was she always cut out to play a rough and tumble game like this?
So can I just say, she's failed her first concussion test at the age of about 2.5.
Yeah. No, that was a regular occurrence. So we had to try and find a sport that would fit her. And luckily now she's got football to be able to do that.
Any thought of sticking a helmet on her when she was 4 years old? Look after her?
There was, actually, to be totally honest.
Alice, what's your pre-match routine, quickly?
It's pretty boring. Like, just kick a ball around and try and get active. But, you know, if you can always try and get a bump, like, get contact on with somebody else, so get ready for the game, get in the mindset.
Very different, by the way. Very different to your dad, Nathan's. Very different to his pre-match routine, judging by what your mum had to say before the 1997 grand final.
And behind me, Fiona Burke, Nathan's wife. How was he this morning?
He was really good. High as kite as usual before a
game. Nathan, see me in the dressing room. Good. How good?
We've got to move this along. Nathan's getting the munchies.
Of course, Tony, I mean, you've done a lot of study on Gavin, and it wasn't just footy that he excelled at, was it?
Well, you said you didn't see the old man play much footy, but surely you watched him when he hosted a show called AFL Squadron. No? Well, settle in for some absolute magic. Take it away, Gavin.
Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome once again to the AFL Coca-Cola Squadron Show.
Yeah, and by the way, well done on dressing up for the occasion. What were you doing? Knocking over a 7-Eleven on the way home, were you? That's his introduction.
Faces the camera. They're hard, Mickey.
Oh, they're hard to do, but he was like... There's an interviewer called Parkinson.
Yes.
And Gavin Brown was probably the closest there ever came to that. Have a listen to his this exchange with a young Cooter.
One question we ask a lot of the players on the show is, do you have any superstitions?
Yes, I do, Gav. I stick to my normal routine, especially if I play a good game. If I have a bad game, I tend to change a few things, even including a towel, you know, after a game.
Yeah, right. Simple as that.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Tony, you've seen a little bit of it now. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I can't believe Harry and Megan didn't go with Gavin instead of Oprah.
Hey, Bergie, I notice you're wearing the T-shirt. I notice you are too, Alice. It's a fantastic cause that we're helping promote here, of course. Saturday night, St Kilda taking on Melbourne. It's Spud's game. Time to talk in memory of Danny Frawley, of course, who was taken way too easily. It was sad, tragic. You know, we're all dealing with that in our own special way, but it's a great way to honour Danny's contribution to the game and beyond, I reckon, Berkey.
Yeah, there's so many good things that come out of it. We can remember Spud and who he was and the man he was, but also raise some money for the Danny Frawley Foundation. Go to that movember.com/Spud. And if you can't do either one of those, just talk to someone. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Just sitting down with someone and having a chat and see what happens from there.
It's all money's raised go to support mental health. There's all sorts of merchandise you can buy if you want to use that as a way to support the cause. That was the website to go to, movember.com/Spud. Saturday night, of course, is the centrepiece of that, St Kilda taking on Melbourne. You two old-timers over there, great to have you on the show. Thanks for coming in. And
must be very proud.
Imagine you would be enormously proud of those two over there.
Congratulations,
Tony, Alice.
girls.
Thank you.
Good luck on the weekend, particularly, well, to you, Alice, next year, of course, and finishing up against you, but to you for what is in store, Tony, for the rest of the season. All the very best to you. Tony Brown and Alice Burke joining us on the show. From them who are starting their careers to a bloke who is one of the most revered characters in the history of the St Kilda Footy Club. He joins us next on the show. Carl Dittrich, join us. Thanks. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us. We're here thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. We're all enormously excited about this. One of the most revered characters in the history of the St Kilda Footy Club. Man who doesn't do much of this sort of stuff has been good enough to join us on the show. Please make him welcome, Mr. Carl Dittrich. Everybody. Thanks for coming on the show, Carl. Appreciate it.
No problems.
Hey, just out of interest, where the hell have you been? We haven't seen you in so long. What's happened post-football?
Well, basically, I enjoyed football. I loved football.
Yep.
Football was my second family and all the rest of it. But there's a lot of razzmatazz with football, media, people, supporters and all the rest of it. And I played something like about 18 years of it, and I thought at the end of that, I knew there was more to life than football. I had a terrific group of people that, would support you during the football career. We still know each other, knock around with each other. And I thought, well, I've made a conscious decision. I've played my 18 years, so I've just decided, well, I'm not playing football anymore. I have a great one myself.
So, as Mickey said before, the St Kilda team did have a bit of a reputation back in those days, well established by the end of the 70s. I can't remember the Essendon president's name, but he called your team a pack of animals. And that hit home pretty deeply with you, didn't it, when he did that?
It was at the old Melbourne ground. It was, it was fair dinkum melee, if you want to call it that, probably a bit more. But, obviously, I took umbrage of it. Gary Colling, which was the captain at the time, and the club. But we actually, well, they were going to take it to court and all the rest of it. We settled out of court.
There was defamation. Oh, you were pushing for that. And is the story true that a lot of St Kilda players, once it started to get a bit serious, a few of your teammates said, "Oh no, this isn't for me," but you felt so strongly about it, you kept pushing it?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Yep. And did you get a resolution that you were happy with at the time?
Well, I could have got more money.
So we've had a look at the vision.
I would have thought truth is a defence may have come up.
Not 19 times you
No,
went.
it's not.
Do you still,
Looks better.
Do you still catch up with any of your old St Kilda teammates?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still got some good mates?
So you look at 1966, so what is really happening? A lot of them are having medical issues, you know, not only physical medical issues, but sort of like the Alzheimer's and all the rest of it. Old age takes its toll, but we still stick together. Ross Smith seems to be the catalyst of us that rings us up and lets us know when any other player is in trouble. And then we get involved with him and we go and meet him and all the rest of it. They are, you know, sensational in that.
Good to hear.
That's what it should be all. That's what footy clubs are all about. So don't go anywhere. There's a whole lot of other stuff we want to talk to Carl Dittrich about. We'll do that on the other side of the break. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh, Carl. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us, Carl Dittrich, our very, very special guest. Joy to have him on the show.
Can I just quickly intervene and say, Carl, congratulations. You are our very first guest ever to pour himself his own beer during the ad breaks. Congratulations. I'm Republican.
Won't be the first either.
Well, in fact, it's an interesting segue into our... We've got a new segment on the show, Carl. I'm sure you're aware of that. It's we started last week. It's called Rewrite the Rules, thanks to Carlton Zero. And Carl is rewriting the rules on the show tonight.
He is tonight. I'll tell you who else rewrote the rules. That was Lou Richards on Wide World of Sport, or World of Sport. Do you remember when you appeared there, you used to get like a little gift basket?
For the
interview.
I think, Carl, you got short-sheeted this day. Let's have a look.
There's a Magnum Champagne from Tomasati, the Grand Reserve. And, of course, you love Olivia Newton-John. That's a long-playing record of Olivia's from... who's it from, boys? Festival, that's right. And also the Brute after... the antiperspirant spray.
Thanks, Lou. Is that it?
Is that it? What did you used to get? On a good day?
I think Carl makes a good point.
Wedgwood pies.
Yes.
Wedgwood pies.
Blacko shirt.
Yeah.
Tosca
No, I never got a...
The Marini hair.
Blacko shirt.
The Marini hair voucher. You got short-shifted there. You didn't get one of those.
No, I had enough trouble with the club hairdresser. I don't want to talk about that.
Can I say this?
Patra orange shoes.
Patra orange shoes.
Tosca travel pants.
Yeah, the Don Smallgoods.
I reckon there's been a fair bit of re-gifting
Never had that.
going on.
I had tea towels that you could fire a pea shooter through. And I got a bloody swag of Mickey Mouse watches. So
Carl, was
half of them didn't work. The other half I gave away to people. And I was too embarrassed to wear the other half.
Fair enough, too. Hey, you had an unbelievable career. St Kilda to Melbourne, back to St Kilda, finished at Melbourne. Why the first move, which was a shockwave when you left? The money that was being reported that you were getting paid by Melbourne sent a tremor through footy. I don't think any player had been paid that much.
Before, you had to have a job. You got to understand that, you know, it's like country footy. You know, you had to have a job to work. Football was another extension of your life, a fun time, a bonding, being with people you meet and you love and, you know, enjoy being with. And particularly the winning side of it, if you had, you know, lucky enough to bloody win the game and all the rest of it. But it's all, you know, what's the question? You only got...
Hey, do you know what? Can I say you're not the first to say that with an Andy.
Breaking all records.
We often forget what the question was by the time he started.
So what was it?
No, well, the question was why did you leave? Why did you leave St Kilda to go to Melbourne? Was it just the money? I mean, you've explained that it was, you know, important.
I thought I was let down in a way. You know, like Jeans is an excellent coach in every aspect of it, an excellent man, and he his principles really were transferred to us as players, and we were appreciated of that. The only black spot or downside, I'd say, Yabby wasn't a fitness fanatic. He was wrestling and all the rest of it. He was a sergeant at the bloody police force and all that. Go there wrestling all these blokes every day and all the rest of it. And that was part of our routine, which is fair enough and all the rest of it. But he didn't know the basics of fitness.
Okay.
Right? And our pre-season every year never varied. It ended up going from Moorabbin straight down South Road to the beach, and away you go down Black Rock and Never Never and straight up Bluff Road and sprint home and all the rest of it. Thank Christ the pre-season's over, we thought.
So you go back to St Kilda after a stint at Melbourne, and then halfway through 78, you walk out. You walk out on the club. No one knows where you've gone.
All right, gets back to the first question.
What happened?
I left St Kilda because I walked into the committee and there might have been, I think it was changed then, there might have only been, I think there was full 12 committeemen, and Jeansy was there, and the president, and Jacobs, the secretary, and all the rest of it. And Jeansy said, well, lad, if you stay, I might consider making you captain. Well, my hackles got up like you wouldn't want to believe. I've put 10 years, about 6 operations, you know, and all the rest of that. And I was a bit,
We're impressed.
Well, I weren't impressed at all. And I said, well, gentlemen, I won't be here with you next year. And
that was it.
And just walked out. It wasn't the most glorious bloody...
Did you think of just telling Alan that you wanted to be a wrestler?
You say you walked out. You actually went completely off the grid and off the radar, and you went to your own hideaway where I'm guessing you started writing your own manifesto? Is that fair to say? OK, or did you?
There are a lot of people in the world would think that is an absolutely fantastic residence. Don't worry about that.
How long were you gone for, Carl?
Not quite sure. I think it might have been 2 or 3 weeks.
Put it back up. Can I just say this? Inside there, were you listening to your Olivia Newton-John record?
I still haven't got that.
You haven't got it.
Is that right?
Hang about.
So there was a manhunt on. I mean, football.
I heard that floor had no dirt. Is that true?
No, it had a wooden floor. Don't worry about that. It had a fire. It was beautiful. You go up there and cook on your fire or a barbecue outside and all the rest of it.
And a dirt floor.
It was probably 20 minutes drive or 15 minutes drive from Waverley, which, you know...
Did you water the floor like Moorabbin?
No.
Like you used to before a big...
I've heard that rumour and I can't substantiate it. All I can say, I wasn't involved in it.
So that happens, they find you, you go back, you finish up at St Kilda in 78, then you go to Melbourne. Captain coach 79-80, your last couple of years in the Cape. How was that experience? So you're one of the last ever captain coaches at the level.
Well, I think it was the last, to be honest.
Who were you coaching? Who you say captain coach? What kind of, was it easy peasy? Was there what kind of characters?
Today, all you got is yourself basically, and a phys ed and a couple of advisors, blokes that you knew well, or the match committee would be part of it, and so on and so forth. And
what was it like coaching Phil Carman?
Yes, well.
What about Robert Flower?
No, we'll get to Phil Carman. Don't distract the Alzheimer's mind. So, you're talking Phil Carman came over from Adelaide.
There we go.
Could play.
Yeah.
In his first year, you blokes know more facts and all the rest of it than I know, but he was very close to winning the Brownlow medal, very close, and missed 8 games.
Yep.
All right, so it's established that he can play. All right, so Melbourne put the feelers out, and we got him. Got him pretty easy too, I think, when it all comes down to it. But unfortunately for Phil, he didn't fulfil his potential. Like clubs wanted him and all the rest of it, but once he was there, he just couldn't fit in. He was like, I don't know, hard to say.
Uncoachable. Uncoachable.
Well, to a degree, it was basically about Phil to a degree, and he was a fitness fanatic. I'll give you an example. We went over to New Zealand on a pre-season trip, all right, and we were down at Queenstown, yeah, and all the rest of it. So we're going there, and the match committee, and we had a group of people who would ascertain skills. So we're going through skills of football, with a whole lot, marking, kicking, basically keeping off. And today's football, he would be sensational, Like, we had about 8 categories. Now, Phil topped the categories in all of them. And I'm looking at myself, and Derek Feldman's looking at me, and I said, how good's this bloke? And all the rest of it. But the trouble is, when it came to the time, that wasn't the way he produced his football. I think he was more worried about his own self than other people, than the club, you know.
And then down the other end, you also coached Robert Flower, who you say is the best footballer you ever coached.
Yeah. Skilton was coach then.
Oh, OK.
No, it wasn't. It was Ian Ridley. Ian Ridley comes and sees me. You know. This is on a Saturday morning.
Yep.
Pre-game. He said, I've got a young bloke, Robbie Flower, playing today. Who?
Yep.
I think they brought him straight out of school or whatever. He's I could have been close to 16.
What a player.
You know. And just a sensational person, player, and the skills. How he never won a Brownlow medal.
Yeah.
I'll never know.
We've said it before, there should be a statue of him up out the front of the MCG. And then let's talk about your last game.
Yeah.
Can we...
Finish your career at Melbourne. He's a good player.
He was.
Yeah.
After 284 games, mate, he played 285 games.
Magnificent
You ran out for your last game, Carl, and I suppose the checklist is there: the jumper, the boots, the headband, teammates. Where's the teammates? Teammates there. Teammates there. Where's the teammates, Carl? Where are they? That was your last game. Was that the right time? You were done?
Yeah, I suppose in hindsight, I look at my body now. I've had more trouble, and you know, most old players do have the trouble with getting their injuries sorted late in life, and so on and so forth. But I think that was right. Perhaps I, might have went a little bit too long. I don't know, but it was just an absolute pleasure playing for Melbourne and St Kilda, and I think one of the absolute joys I got out of football with my daughter was that before a grand final or one of those events or whatever, we were in a cavalcade together with those players that had finished off in that particular year or something like that. And I think the beauty of it was I'd played most of my life with St Kilda, went to Melbourne. When I was playing with St Kilda against Melbourne, no booze, nothing. When I was playing with Melbourne against St Kilda, nothing beautiful. And that day sort of wound it up. It was the accolades. I just thought it was fantastic.
Well, you made an unbelievable contribution to the game, and we couldn't let you. And we've had a haven't you? And we couldn't let you go home.
We sure have. We've got you a few
tea towels again.
We've got you some Brute 33. Oh. We've got you the Flanny.
No, don't worry about
it. And of course, the Olivia Newton-John album. Can I suggest Have You Ever Been Mellowed? Track 3, which I think you will love. It's we've done a whip around and found some stuff in our car, basically.
Well, where's Volume 1?
Volume 1 is coming. Good on you, Carl.
Carl Dittrich, thanks for coming on the show. It's been a joy to have you on. What a giant of the game he has been. Carl Dittrich, amazing contribution to the game, joining us here on the show. Great to have you with us. Hey, don't go anywhere. On the other side of the break, there he goes, the big Carl. On the other side of the break, mixed multi with some great news. The Raccoons are back. They're back. Great to have you.
Wow.
Hopefully you enjoyed meeting Carl Dittrich as much as we did.
I just thought it was amazing. It was sitting here. It was just compelling, and it's an amazing career, and it was just a privilege for us to have him on the show. And I tell you what, you wouldn't want to be following him. What's next?
We're going to get to mixed multi in a moment. Getting to mixed multi. Don't forget, tomorrow night, round 2 kicks off with an absolute blockbuster. There's going to be 75,000 people at the MCG. Carlton taking on...
Do or die. One of these teams is going to go 2 and zip.
Fine. But what I'm saying is, Carl Dittrich is amazing, right? You could not stop listening. Imagine having to do something now.
Time for mixed multi.
Imagine.
Yeah, I think you've got something up your sleeve.
You'd want to.
Yeah.
I have got a big finish.
That's all I'm saying. What do you got for us?
Not much in front of that. Are we in?
Yeah, we're going.
We're doing the opener already.
What do you got for us?
All right.
Yep.
Let's start at the beginning. First up, everybody. After their loss to Port on the weekend, North Melbourne's Jaden Stevenson and Cam Zurhaar had an interesting way of winding down. Have a look. Here they are on the Monday, having a pedicure.
Oh, jeez.
And what do you call it?
Yeah.
Manicure and a pedicure?
Wow.
Mani-pedi?
reckon?
I'm pretty sure you can't say mani-pedi in this time, in this time slot. I'd like to wager that's not what they're referring to when they refer to the old shin boner spirit.
I don't reckon. No, I'm with you. I don't reckon
stuff. That's a good joke.
I don't reckon Carl Dittrich was doing that much of that stuff post.
Hey guys, whatever happened to bring your mouth guards Monday?
You can't have it.
It's got to be old-fashioned.
No, you can't have it. But how about you take Zerhard to run a place, race one Hobart Dogs, and I'll give you $3.50.
Sold. Here we go.
Come on.
Second leg. Fans of a local soccer match in Slovakia, believe it or not, had to contend with this unusual sight just before half-time. Have a look at that. Yep. There's some entertainment for you. I'd like to wager that train has still got more puff than the Teague train. Bang! By the way, the caboose was offside. It was offside. Can I have that?
Around the line, no. But how about you take Lokomotiv to beat CSKA Moscow in the Russian Ice Hockey League? And I'll give you $3.48.
That's the way we roll at the multi. Get on this one. It cannot lose. Third leg. As a boundary rider, she's one of my favourites. It's always important to be prepared when they cross down to you. So see if you can spot when Seven's Nat Edwards went wrong. See if you can pick it.
Welcome back to Victoria Park. Collingwood by 25 points. Let's head downstairs for an update. Boundary side to Nat Edwards.
Guys, the Pies might be 25.
I'd like to wager that my comb-over is better than Nat's.
Yes. Actually, you're probably right, but you can't have it. How about you take the Blues, though, to beat the Pies and I'll give you $1.98.
Right.
Get on the blue bandwagon.
What?
How do you reckon the multi's going tonight?
Look, it's not the best, but it's, we've had worse as well.
Give me a watch. Hey, Siri, define mixed multi.
Mixed multi is a shambles. So sad to see the decline of a comedy icon, now playing videos of animals for cheap laughs.
Wow.
That's got to hurt. Carl Dittrich sorted that out, by the way.
Funny she should mention animal clips. To boot this home.
Oh, jeez.
No, I have ultimate faith in this one, everyone. Strap yourself in. You'll remember where you were then when this went down. The raccoons are back.
What?
The raccoons are back. Listen to this. Okay. To boot this home, it's always important to act cool. Remember that. To act cool when sprung being somewhere you shouldn't be, especially if you're a raccoon. Have a look at these guys. Guys, oops, I think they're onto us. Careful. And I'm cool. Don't move. And... I'd like to wager that raccoon has absolutely nailed the new man on the mark rule.
Surely you're out of it.
Yes.
Mate, no, I'll pay it. I'll take everyone behind the scenes and say that the last words I heard during the break was Mick say to Serge, or someone in the control room, "Are you going to freeze on the raccoon at the end?"
Surely you're out of raccoon gear after this. How about it was Jojo who said it.
Good raccoon.
How about you take Freo to beat the Giants and give you $1.84? What about that?
I'll take it. Bag it up. What do we got?
There it is.
Oh, well done, Sportsbet. This is a genuine bet.
44 bucks.
Go bonkers.
Get on Mixed Multi, Sportsbet app. Look for Mixed Multi, Megabet section app, and whatever you do, gamble responsibly. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
After this, the last shout. To finish it all off.
Saturday on 7, get ready for Sydney's most famous race. It's the iconic Golden Slipper.
Another one for Gay Waterhouse.
It's the glitz and glamour of Rosehill. 5 Group 1s, 1 epic race day. Right here on 7.
Welcome back to the show. Time, of course, for the last shout. Hey, to Lance and Jacinta.
Yeah, well done.
Birth of their second child. Congratulations to them both. Haven't got a name yet. Haven't got a name for it yet. Have you got any ideas?
Chloe or Felicity, I think, are good names.
It's a boy.
I stand by. I didn't know what. You didn't tell me what. You know what they should call it? Barry Round.
That's
That's a good name.
The Melbourne International Comedy Festival has started in Melbourne, funnily enough, tonight. Two of the brains, and that's where you go to get tickets. The brains behind the organisation here.
The wind beneath our wings.
They've got shows on. Please make them welcome Paul Collegia and Adam Rosenbach's. Adam Rosenbach's the unwellness guru.
Thank you, Andy.
And Paul Collegia, of course, the wine box with Damien Callanan.
Yes, I thought our mixed multi-jokes went well.
Yeah, no, well done.
If you want an hour and a half of that, go along and see
Rosie, you got any raccoons in your show?
No raccoons, but I do, to keep everyone safe, I've got a Pete Evans Bio light charger cranked up to unicorns. Everyone's going
So you sort of got animals involved. Hey, boys.
I've seen both the shows.
Yep.
They're excellent, and I've made notes.
You going to pay for a ticket this year? Or?
Yeah, wouldn't have thought so.
Hey, boys, good luck with the shows. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Andy.
No worries, Adam. My pleasure.
And good luck in whatever you do next on television.
That's it. Thanks to Carl. Thanks to the girls. Thanks to the dads. Thanks to Carl Dittrich. It was an absolute pleasure to have him on the show tonight. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. We'll be back. Luke Beveridge.
Alice Burke and
Beveridge,
Tony Brown.
our special guest on the show next week. See you then. Bye for now.